So guys, I hope you can share this video with your friends and family members, so that you can tell them that corona isn't an ending. Corona is not the stop. You can fight with corona. You can defeat corona easily. Thank you.
You think you know me?
Hello guys, my name is Abhishek Rakshit and welcome to my YouTube channel, Mr. Vlogger. Today I'm making this video because I promised you guys that if I'd survive coronavirus, then I'll make sure you're going to know my story. Okay, so on 15 June, I got 103 fever, 103 degree Fahrenheit fever. I had spoken to my doctors and he suggested me to take pills, Calpol 650, and I took pills Calpol 650 not once but 4 times a day, but the fever wasn't decreasing, rather it was increasing. The next day it became 104 degree Fahrenheit. So I told my doctor told me wait for a couple of more days and then decide. So I waited for another 2 days, and on 18 June 2020 I went to Siliguri district hospital and got tested for COVID-19, novel coronavirus, as you can say. Okay, so the test, to be honest, the test was not comfortable. To be honest, first it was comfortable, and I didn't scare myself. It's like two sticks. One is like this much, another is this much. As you can say, it's a Johnson bird. You can say it's a Johnson earbud. So first they took the stick, which one side has cotton like Johnson bird, and they try to open your mouth, and they took the saliva from both the tonsils. Then the half the test is done, and then they took the other long stick, and they try to shove it in your nose, unless or until the stick pokes the throat, unless or until it went from the nose to the throat. And when it pokes the throat, they're gonna spin it. Spin it. It was a bit painful. Spin it 3 or 4 times, and then they eject it. So when I took the test, so my nose bled or my throat bled, I didn't know. There was a blood covered the whole cotton, and I got scared, to be honest, because I haven't seen my blood like that in my life. Yeah, I had what can I say? I had nosebleed before, but not like that. So after 2 days, on 20 June, I got a call from the health department from Darjeeling. Dr. something Majumdar. Dr. something I don't know the name, to be honest. Majumdar it was. He called me and he asked me about my travel history, anything about that, anything like that. So honestly speaking, I told him the truth. I worked on a Russian shop, and it was a containment zone. Containment zone it was. So what number 5? So, and I guess I got it from customers. Those were positive patients, and the area was kind of backdated. That's why people really don't know if they had symptoms or not, because they are most of the time the people were sick. So it was hard for me to tell. Okay, so the doctor called me and told me that they are going to take me to Disan hospital, but instead of Disan they took me to Chang. I was speaking with the doctor at 11:30 a.m. but at night, 10 p.m. The ambulance came to my house, and there was one patient from Surison colony, then me, then we went to Matri Sadan. It was near Vikasgo swimming pool. There was another patient waiting, Mr. Sabve Sachiguha. He was very senior. He was like my grandfather. I mean, he was my grandfather, not my grandfather, but the age was about my grandfather. So he was also positive. So we 3 patients were going to Chang hospital. We went there. I actually had my dinner, but they offered me food, perfect food. The food was all right, everything was fine. I took the food. They gave me medicine, azithromycin 500, which is antibiotics, and Calpol 650, zinc, vitamin B12 as a vitamin B complex. So, and HCQ 200. HCQ 200. So everything was fine. First day was all right. Then the next day, 21st June, they got my blood for CBG, and everything was fine. The CBG was okay. My hemoglobin was okay, and my fever was decreasing. But that day, on 21st June, when I cough, there was blood all over the sink, as you can say. So I got scared, because I thought maybe I was gonna die, but I didn't lose hope. And the next day, on 22nd, my fever was gone. I was, as you can say, I was all right. But they gave me the prescription from the health department, and there was a line said referral discharge to Hathi Ghisha quarantine home. So I was excited that my health was going to be all right. I was excited because I was recovering, but at the same time I got nervous, because I'm from Deshbandhupara, Shiliguri, and I didn't know where the place Hathi Ghisha quarantine home. And I asked them. They told me it was far from Naksalbari area. okay, so I was, you know, I got my strength and faith, and but but they kept waiting me. They kept waiting me from 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. 10 p.m. At 10 p.m. I went to that. I went on the ambulance, and me along with 5 other men were going to Hatikisha quarantine home, and at 10:45 we had reached there, and frankly speaking, I didn't like that place. I didn't like that place because that night I called them and they told me to please adjust করে নিন আপনি একটু আজকের রাতটা, কালকে সকালে আপনার যা সমস্যা আছে আমরা দেখব. So they didn't give me medicines. To be honest, I'm totally honest. They didn't give me medicines. Next day there were 3 to 4 rooms where we, the patient from Chang, from Disan, were there. So in our room there was 11 members, and wearing a PP kit there was a person. He was serving the breakfast. He went to the room number 5 and gave bread, milk and banana and etc. But then they came to our room, but he had no bread left, so he had roti, as you can say, roti, and there was no vegetables, and bananas from everyone, each for one, and milk. So I got the milk, but it was very it was rounded with long hairs. So I was feeling disgusting. I was feeling disgusted, and the roti, they gave one roti and said not many rotis they were giving. They told us he threw that on the table and said, please, you guys can distribute this to each and every one of you. And it was hard for us and it was hard for me to see that, because we all are positive patients, and I was feeling very nastily about that moment. Very nasty feeling I had, because we all are positive patients. You can't you at least you can distribute it to your by yourself to each one of us, but not that. So lastly there was a roti which was supposed to divided by me and another person. So I gave him the roti, and I called there were 2 members, something Kundu and Datta. I don't know the name. So I called them and told them. They told me, okay, so the breakfast today has already been served, so I try to adjust. I said no more adjustment, please help me. So they called me and said okay, we have managed roti and sabzi for you, vegetables for you. So I went to the first floor. We are on the 3rd floor. I went to the 1st floor, and there was from the gate It was attached with the gate with the plastic. 3 roti and chola dal, as you can say. Chola dal means I don't know the English, forget it. Chola dal. So I was very happy, and an egg and banana. So I went to my room, and on my bed I opened up the parcel, and I was trying to eat, but it was so rich in salt. It was very salty, to be honest. The dal was very salty. I couldn't eat, so I threw them. I was very nervous. I was shattering. I was gonna cry. I called my friend Partho Bishas and told him, bro, I can't take it. Please do something. First, then I called my professor. I'm not going to call her name. Sorry, because I didn't have her permission to post anything about her on YouTube. That's why I'm not going to call her name. She helped me a lot. She called their authority, and she questioned them. They felt sorry, and they called me and said, "Don't complain. We're going to fix things." But that wasn't just there. Nothing's going to get fixed. And in afternoon's lunch, the rice was very fatty. I mean, the rice was very big, and I can't eat that rice. I have seen the rice from Russian, but they were all right. But not that rice they gave us. So I called my aunt, and he called our ward counselor Joy Kaku, Shodindu Chakraborty. He is a very good guy, good man. He's a very good man. He then managed to call the authority, and he transferred me to Hathigisha, from Hathigisha to Disan Hospital, and I was very happy. I thanked him. I literally was very happy. Thank God I'm safe. So on 23rd June 2020 at 4:30 p.m. I went to the Disan Hospital. All of my friends were calling me, but they are going to surrender my. I am going to surrender my phone. They are going to seize my phone because there were no right in Chang. I had my small phone. They are going to allow it, but not in Disan. So yeah, I gave it, and I remember in Chiang my bed number was 224. In Disan my bed number was 4026. Okay, I was very happy. Disan was very super fine, to be honest. Okay, so but my what can I say? My fever was increasing because the night 22nd on 22nd night, when we had reached to Hathikesha quarantine center, it was raining heavily, and they called us from the ambulance, and they were showering us with bleaching and sanitizing water, and it was very hard for me to take it because I had 104 fever, 104 degree Fahrenheit, and my black t-shirt went white. It was very powerful chemical. Okay, so on the 23rd I went to the Dishan, and it was all right. I was not that day. On 26th on 23rd I was very sick. To be honest, I was going to recover on 22nd, by 23rd I went to my home, but that wasn't happened. And then on 23rd I barely survived that fever, and the new cough was rising. Same medicines they were giving me, but all right, these medicines were working. Fever was increasing day by day, and on 25th my fever was already gone, but my body was very much getting weaker day by day, and I had a breathing problem starting, because my chest, my left chest pained while me breathing. Okay, so they're giving me food 3 times a day, and on evening they're giving tea and biscuit. It was very nice of them, to be honest. Chang and Disan were okay, were fine, super fine. So on 25th they're going to test me on 24th, but as one day I have wasted in Hathigisha, that's why they're going to test me on 25th of June. So they took my test, swab test, and you know the swab test is very painful. So yeah, I got the test, and on 25th the nurses were calling me. I was very sick. They're calling me, Abhishek, you got patients. And oh my god, my mom and my grandmother were there. I was so getting nervous. My body was shaking because they are only the family members I have. I was very getting nervous. I was shocked. I was terrified, and they told me, please be with them. We're going to shift them on their beds, but at least be with them. But I wasn't able to stand up because I was very nervous. I was shaking. I was praying to God. I am not a believer. I wasn't a believer, but that time I had no choice. I was praying to God, please, not them. So yeah, okay, they're going to shift them on their beds. Okay, so they're on the female ward, and I am on the male ward. The nurses were giving us mobile for 2 hours. We were using it. Oh, one incident happened. There was a guy, Vikas, I guess. He and his family went to Chang the next day, on 26th. But on 25th, so his family were there, and on the morning, you know, the first male person who was going to serve our foods, his last day was 25th. At that time I was sad because he was going to give us on our food on our table. But on the 26th there was a new guy. He was going to bring all the food to one table, and we're going to go there and to take the food and trying to eat it on our table. But there was a guy, because on 26th he took my food. The fever was still on my body. I was very weak, and he took the food, and his 5 to 6 year daughter had coronavirus. I was very sorry for him, and so he took the food for his child and gave her that. But I thought maybe there were no food for me. But then my fellow patient told me that happened. And I was like, all right, no problem. She was a kid. Okay, so only that day that was charming. Oh no issue, no issue. She was a kid and she's all right now. They went to Chang. They're okay, and yeah, I got the swab test on 25th, and on 27th I was tested negative, and yeah, I went from Disan to my home, and they felicitated me. They were very happy. The hospital authorities were happy. They told me that yes, you brave boy. And there was the guy, the man with whom I got admitted. I got admitted in Chang, and I went to my house with that senior person, Mr. Sabitsachigu, and her daughter. I don't know her name, so okay, so we all were all right. And that day, on 27th, on 25th report, we got it 48 hours later. So 27th, there were 27 patients. They told to the media 28, not 27, I guess, because forget it, 28 or 27 patients were tested negative for coronavirus, and we were ready to go home. But I was at the time excited, but at the same time I was very sad, because my mom and my grandmother, they were left alone there, and I feel helpless and hopeless. But my grandmother and my mom, they are also fighters. They're great fighters. They are all right now. Yeah, they tested positive. They took the hospital authority took the swab test of their swab test. They took their test, and on 29th, yesterday, they got positive again. But today they went for another test, but I don't know why, because it takes 5 to 7 days to take a test. But yesterday they tested positive, and today they are going to take another swab test. I mean, it's really painful, but I don't know why they are taking this. I don't know. I'm not the hospital authority. I don't know that. And yeah, that's the story. That's my story. You can also be a fighter. Anyone can be a fighter. We all are fighters. We all are. To be honest, we all are fighters. We live our life. We are fighting for our lives. Struggle for existence. So yeah, it was very hard for me. And thank you guys. You guys were there for me. You were praying for me, and thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you guys, for all my Facebook friends, my relatives, my professors, my teachers, my friends, everyone who, I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you very much. That was my story, and I am going to turn this video off. Thank you very much. Enjoy your life.